So after reading Macbeth, which I was rather unfamiliar with actually, I did find it interesting, of course, how dark it was. All of the, murders that it included. So obviously, like King Duncan and Macbeth, as well as Lady Macduff and her children, and even Banquo, if that's how you say that. I also thought it was strange how willing they were to believe the prophecies of the three witches. Who's going to be king, who's going to have king, stuff like that. So, as for the priorities, I did feel like a main one was power, or success, success being power, especially when it came to Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, how much they valued being king and having the throne. And then when Malcolm, came back for revenge, how he also wanted to gain that power. And then perseverance, how they were willing to kill others who got in their way. So how they were willing to kill um, King Duncan and hire people to kill Banquo. And then how Malcolm was willing to have Macduff kill Macbeth to get what they wanted. They weren't going to give up until they got it. So reading with a pencil, the first thing I noticed was the term hurly-burly, which I wasn't familiar with. So I figured out that that means like disturbance. So it came from the line, when the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won, which kind of means like when the chaos and the uproar have ended, then the witches will meet again. So as for the issue of diversity with the masculinity and femininity, I felt like Lady Macbeth um, kind of like embodied her femininity by taking matters into her own hands and kind of, telling Macbeth like what needed to be done. But at the same time, she asked to be unsexed, kind of implying that if she was a man, she would be more masculine and that she would be better off. And then by, having Macbeth kill King Duncan, she was saying that she wanted him to become king and that she was really just relying on his masculinity to do what she wanted. So, for question five, I do think the audience saw a woman because they were used to male actors. So it wasn't hard for them to view him as a woman. I think he probably wore a wig, I'm sure. However, I'm sure there were features such as his size or, muscles that made him the male actor for Lady Macbeth seem more masculine. Um, so for question six, the two questions that I would like to, have answered or discussed are, why is being untimely ripped from the womb, which implies having a C-section, why is that not considered, why isn't that considered being born of a woman in the case of Macduff at the end? That's why he was able to kill Macbeth. And then Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, why do they flee to England and Ireland? Because I feel like the Scottish nobility or nobles and military would have protected them, especially if they were next in line for the throne.